Hi! Today I'm going to be doing the Pride Flag book tag, which is a book tag I wanted to do last year, but we know the story. This tag was created by Spencer over at Common Spence, and I will link his video down below. Please go and watch it. He has a brief history in the video of where the Pride Flag came from, and he talks about how each of the colours that we have in the flag now, the 6 colours that we have now, are there for a reason. They do have a meaning, and these colours have a meaning. That is what this tag is. The tag is that each colour has its meaning, so he has set a question slash kind of prompt, I guess, for that particular colour, and then you find a book based on that one. And it's such a clever idea, it's so good. Please go and watch his video. Like I said, I will link it down below. And yeah, I'm so excited to do this and talk about some books with you. So obviously the first colour is red, which symbolises life. So the kind of question slash prompt for this colour is book with a spirited protagonist who is totally proud of who they are, a character who gives you life. Is there any other option than Monty from The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue? So Henry Montague, or Monty as he is called, his dad is a lord. Monty is expected to take over the estate and be a proper gentleman and a proper man and a lord. This is set in the 1700s, by the way. But Monty didn't want to do that, and his dad disapproves on everything that Monty does. Monty is bisexual and is very much in love with his best friend Percy, and Monty is about to embark on his gentleman's tour of Europe, and he is expected to kind of abide by all the rules on this tour and then come back and take over the estate. But of course things do not go to plan. Monty is very much kind of open about all the things and the people that he likes and everything in his life, and he is just such an amazing character. I love Monty so much. He is absolute legend. I love him to pieces. Like, one of my all-time favourite characters, one of my all-time favourite books, and I genuinely cannot get enough of him and his character. And I just need Mackenzie Lee to write like 50 bajillion stories just all focused on Monty so that I can have more of him, please. And then the second colour is orange, and that represents healing. A book that made you, as the reader, find a deeper meaning or catharsis in your own life, and that one has to be Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe by Benjamin Aliri Sainz. I talk about this book very often, and I talk about how much this book means to me very often, but I've never been able to properly articulate just how much this book means to me. And not just because of how much I love the characters and how much I love the story, but so many of the really prevalent themes in this book are very important to me. And I remember reading it for the very first time, and it spoke to me so much, genuinely, like it spoke to my soul. I finished this book and was a different person. It changed so many aspects of my life. It changed the way I thought about things that were in my life. It changed the way I accepted things that were in my life and that were part of me, and it just really did just such amazing things and sort of gave me that deeper meaning in such an amazing way. So it had to be this book, and I love it to pieces and cannot express enough how much I love this book to pieces. For those that may not know, Aristotle and Dante Discover the Secrets of the Universe. This book's set in the 80s, and it focuses on 15-year-old Aristotle Mendoza, who lives in El Paso in Texas, and one day he goes swimming and he can't really swim, but there he meets Dante, who is the complete opposite of Ari. They have a bit of a laugh. Their names are Aristotle and Dante. They're complete opposites. Dante is very kind of free and excitable and happy and doesn't worry about things as much as Ari does, whereas Ari has lots of issues with his family and is dealing with lots of different things, and they are complete opposites, but somehow they really hit it off. And it is everything that unfolds from there with their whole relationship and their whole lives and just how intertwined their whole lives become. I know I talk about it all the time, I know I tell everyone to read it all the time, but this book is just beautiful. That's the only way I can explain it. Not just the cover, which it is beautiful, but the writing, the words, the story, the characters, everything about it is so beautiful, and I'm so happy that I have read this book. I don't think I would be me now if I had not picked up this book when I was 18 years old. And then the next colour is yellow, which is sunshine, so a book that fills you up with so much joy you could read it even on your darkest days. Literally both of the two I've already spoken about. Like, they would be my first to go to these ones, but I didn't have other things for the other one. So I am kind of cheating a little bit, and I'm gonna say The Lady's Guide to Petticoats and Piracy, also by Mackenzie Lee, which is the sequel to The Gentleman's Guide to Vice and Virtue with Monty. This is his little sister Felicity, who is a queen. Felicity is asexual. It's not like explicitly stated in it. Mackenzie Lee has confirmed that that is the case with this one. Also, I think with these ones where Monty is bisexual as well, the words are never said because the words didn't exist back in that time, if that makes sense. But that is what they are. That's what they've been confirmed to be. Monty talks about it all the time. So She is a feminist. She wants to be a doctor, but she's living in a time where everyone's telling her no, she can't do that, she should find a husband, she should do all of this. But Felicity's like, no. I'm gonna do what I want to do, and she does it, and she's amazing. And this whole series just makes me so happy. So I'm kind of cheating by using the sequel because it kind of counts as a thing, but this whole series, it just makes me so happy. Genuinely, I have a smile on my face from the minute I start these books to the finishing them, and Felicity's character is absolutely amazing. And I particularly loved this book so much because one of the characters that came into this, Joanna, in this book really, I think, taught Felicity a lot. I feel like Felicity had a lot of growth in this book as well, and that made me really, really happy. And genuinely, on my saddest days, I will pick up this book, I will pick up Gentleman's Guide. They are books that make me feel so happy and that can cheer me up when I'm down. I also want to include Our Own Private Universe by Robin Talley because this is one of my all-time favourite books. I love Robin Talley's books. Her books make me really, really happy, and I love this one and the way that sexuality is explored in this one. This focuses on 15-year-old Akai, who has always known that she is bisexual but has never kind of put that into practice. She's never had a girlfriend before, but when she goes away on a group trip to a small Mexican town for the summer, she meets Krista. It's everything that unfolds from there. And this book was one of the first ones that I ever read which I felt like really handled themes of bisexuality really, really well, and spoke about things that other books wouldn't have done involving FF relationships. And I just think this book is amazing. I love reading this book. It's just really good and nice, and it's all about exploring yourself and people around you and coming out and all of this jazz. And I just genuinely think that this book's really good, and it's another one which makes me super happy. Hi! Editing me. I was editing this and some of the footage was a bit dodgy, so here's me just editing things in. The next colour we have is green, which it means nature. So this is to choose a book which is out of this world, and I'm going to choose that quite literally, and that is The Long Way to a Small Angry Planet by Becky Chambers. This book I really, really liked. While the central theme is not the relationships of the characters, it's more how they work together as being a family and their interactions together that way. There is an FF romance in this one, and it's really, really good. I loved the characters in this. I loved the plot. I loved the science. Oh my god, did I love the science. Again, everything that was explained was done really, really well. It explored so many wonderful aspects, and I absolutely love this book. This book focuses on Rosemary Harper, who is new to join the Wayfarer, which is a small patched up ship with kind of like a makeshift family on it, and she joins them as their newest crew member. She is kind of running away from her past and things that have happened to her in the past, but everything on this is mishmash of personalities, this kind of makeshift family, and everything that this gives her is exactly what she wants, and it's that story of them on the Wayfarer. This is actually one of the first books that I read this year. I really, really, really liked it. I thought it was done so well. Sci-fi in book form is something which I'm still getting used to reading and enjoying, because it's something I definitely prefer more of when I can watch it. So sci-fi books is something I'm still getting used to and trying to find the ones that I really, really love, and this is one that definitely fit that bar, so this is my recommendation for green. Then we have blue, which symbolises peace, so a book in which a character comes to terms with a hard truth. And for this one I'm going to go with Sometime After Midnight by Elle Phillips. This is a Cinderella retelling, but Cinderfella retelling, and with Instagram, and it focuses on Nate and Cameron, who meet in a club one night, but Nate ends up leaving at midnight, and the only thing that Cameron has left is a picture of Nate's shoes, which Cameron's sister took on her phone, and they are like decorative shoes. Cameron and his sister are actually very famous, and they are the children of the man who owns the record label, which is the person that ruined Nate's dad's life. I'm not doing a really good job with this, and Nate's dad has unfortunately died. Nate is still kind of dealing with that whole situation. He has like a very set idea of that this record label ruined his dad's life and it is their fault that this is what happened. And throughout the book, while kind of their budding romance and not wanting to be with each other because they can't, because kind of all these kind of like issues that built up that happened with their parents happened, this is kind of them having their own sort of things, and Nate coming to terms with what actually happened to his dad, and he had to deal with lots of things. Their own past, their own histories, and things that are still troubling them are very likely to get in the way of this kind of budding relationship that they have. They do kind of have to come to terms with what's happened and accept the truth of what's happened, rather than kind of what they've had in their head and what they've thought was the case for so long. So this is one that I thought was good for this. And then finally we have Purple, which is Spirit, which is a book which which deals with LGBTQ+ themes and religion. I actually have 3 for this because I didn't know which one to choose from, so we're going with 3. So I'm gonna get through the like heaviest, then the like medium ground, and then the like light fluffy one. Hi, editing me again. The start of me introducing this book just cut off entirely, so you're gonna see me and then the actual original video. So the first one is The Miseducation of Cameron Post by Emily M. Danforth, and this focuses on Cameron, whose parents died. When she finds out, her first thought is relief that they will never find out that the night that they died she was kissing a girl. She then gets sent to live with her very conservative aunt in a small town, and she's still trying to deal with her sexuality. There she meets a girl called Coley Taylor and begins a very kind of intense friendship. That friendship kind of turns into something a little bit more, but they end up being caught. When her aunt finds out, it's a very religious, very heavy town, her aunt tries to correct her niece by sending her away somewhere to do that correcting. So this focuses on Cameron's exploration of who she is, who everyone's telling her she is, and everything that comes from that. This is one which does explore it in a very heavy way. There are very heavy themes. It does focus on kind of like correctional therapy, and that you can kind of remove the gay from someone. Everything that comes from that, and it is a lot of exploration about who she is and what she's been told her entire life. Then we have Georgia Peaches and Other Forbidden Fruit by J. Robin Brown, and this is Jo, who has been out and proud for years, but her dad, who is an evangelist like radio guy, he has like a Christian kind of like chat show on the radio. When he remarries, they move to a small town, he kind of asks her to go back into the closet a little bit. She sort of rebrands herself as straight with the people that she has. I did have some issues with this book that are not to do with that, but I will talk about them if I like ever do a review of it. I might write a review of it on my blog, which is down below by the way. But this, I enjoyed the way that she had her own religion that she still believed in, and she really wanted to use her father's platform to talk about how you can be religious and also you can be gay or a lesbian or bisexual, etc, etc, and I really liked the way that she wanted to do that, and she was so passionate about wanting to talk about that and being so kind of open about that and wanting to use the platform for good, to help people kind of change the way they think and to put sort of remind them that this is the way that we've been made because of this is the way God has created us and that's okay. And I did like the way that she wanted to use his platform to kind of talk about that and promote that. So this is another one. And then finally we have Autobiography by Christina Lauren, and this focuses on Tanner Scott, who again, he was very out and proud, but they moved to a very small town in Utah and he kind of got pushed back in the closet a little bit. Now he has 1 semester left of high school and his best friend encourages him to take this kind of writing seminar where the aim is to draft a book during this sort of like the semester taking the seminar. There he meets Sebastian, who was the winner of last year's and has actually gotten a book deal from it, and they very much hit it off. Sebastian is a Mormon prodigy and his dad is very religious, but this is a really nice one, and I really love the way that Sebastian was taking kind of it to like think about it and the way he was thinking about himself and religion, and he actually says about God made me this way and he's gonna love me because this is the way that he made me. And I really love the attitudes towards sexuality and religion that were explored in this book, and I just think it was done really well. So yes, that was the Pride Flag book tag, which I really love and think it's such a clever idea and was such a sort of inventive way to use those colours and actually talk about the meaning of them, because we see it everywhere but it's very rare we actually see people talking about the meaning of where that flag came from. So I really love that this was something that Spencer did, and like I said, please go and see his video, which I will link down below. Thank you for watching. If you're new here, then I make videos a couple of times a week about books and fandomy things, so if you want to stick around and join us, then you can do that. And as usual, all the links to all my other social medias are in the description below. I hope you guys are doing really well, and I will see you next time. Bye!